Hi. I was really tempted to just play Monster Hunter Wilds all weekend, but then I remembered I had this video to do, so here I am. I am planning on going on a ski trip around the end time for this video's group buy period, so not sure if I'll have much time to create the next episode, but we'll see how it goes when we get there. For some keyboard news, if you are someone who bought GMK Classic Beige, GMK Dandy R2, or GMK Nightshade from Space Cables and did not receive your set, I would recommend joining the OmniType Discord and taking a look at the link I've left in the description below. There's a form for you to fill out that closes out on March 5th, so not much time is left. Anyways, without further ado, GMK Black and Gold is a new set with a classic and classy colorway using the new GMK Metallic ABS technology that we've seen in a couple sets and ICs. It's a set that was actually inspired by the colorway first, before the theme of the novelties were decided, though I think the designer did a good job by selecting an Art Deco theme and a Casino Royale theme. There is actually another Keycap IC from the same designer called GMK Shogun, originally called GMK Kintsugi, but since GMK Black and Gold went live and the other did not, I assume it's probably dead. The base kit itself is quite inclusive, with the numpad already included, and spacebars of various sizes, though if you want golden spacebars, you'll probably want to pick up the gold bars kit, and the add-ons kit might provide some needed compatibility support with the few extra keys. There is also a Nord UK kit that will be a part of the group buy to provide a bit of language support. The novelties kits look awesome, and I think the designer really knocked it out of the park with both of them. The Casino Royale novelties are a little more straightforward, while the Art Deco novelties are a little more extravagant and comes with more keys, though at an increased cost of $60 versus the $50 for the Casino kit. I think that it is kind of a slight miss for the set to not offer any metal artisans, because I think it would have been perfect to offer a gold colored metal keycap along with the set. Of course, it's not a deal breaker by any means, but definitely would have been a nice cherry on top. Pricing for the set is pretty standard compared to other GMK keycaps, with the base kit coming at $125 since it does include the numpad. If you buy it along with the novelties kit, you're looking at least $175 before taxes and shipping, so it's not cheap, but it is a great looking set. If you have that kind of money to spend and you've been looking for a clean stylish set, I think that GMK Black and Gold is the one for you. PBTfans No Signal is inspired by the TV test cards that you used to see on TV. There's a more in-depth explanation on the product page that I don't really want to get into, but you can read it if you'd like. Personally, I don't care for the inspiration at all, but I do think that the set looks quite nice with the checkering on the function keys, the color num row, and the gradient on the last alpha row. If you would like more color, you can add the accent kit, and if you want some keys that match the theme, you can get the novelties kit, though all of them are black and white to match the theme. The best part of this set is that the pricing is pretty great, with a $68 base kit, and the child kits coming in at $20 or less. I personally don't find the accent or novelties kit to be necessary, since I don't think that they add that much value, so I would just pick up the base kit, which is relatively affordable for this hobby. I think that the design elements added gives it just a bit more spice to make it interesting compared to a standard black on white kit, but still looks pretty clean overall and would look great on pretty much any keyboard. If that's something you've been looking for, you might want to take a look at PBTfans No Signal. Out of all the keyboards for this week, I think that the Platinum PT750 is definitely the cleanest of the bunch. It features smooth, rounded lines with wider bezels on the sides, and not too many complications with just a simple metal badge on the left side and a cute bottom weight design that's not overcomplicated. Since Percent Studios is a partner brand of Owl Labs, it has some features that we've seen from other boards created by the brand, such as the ball catch easy disassembly structure, and the magnetic pogo pin connectors, which make it easier for folks to open up the keyboard and tinker with. It's honestly a life-changing mechanism for those who like messing with their keyboards, as it saves a bunch of time and also removes the risk of accidentally stripping screws or losing them, or messing up the threads. For the mounting style, it features a leaf spring mounting structure which provides a bouncing typing feel. This is also not a revolutionary feature, but it is very nice to type with, and I do like the mounting system. All this combined makes for a compelling package, though the price makes it a bit of a tougher sell. The PT750 will cost $499, which is quite pricey, especially when you just compare it to other QWERTY Keys products, and based on the feature set, nothing really stands out in comparison to justify this pricing. I'm not an expert in machining, so maybe the rounded lines make it tougher to manufacture, and the undisclosed limited unit count probably contributes to the high pricing as well. But honestly, unless you're really in love with the looks of this board and have the disposable income, nothing about this really says that it should be worth that much money. There are so many budget options available nowadays that offer a ton of features, so it's become really hard for more premium boards to exist nowadays, especially if they don't offer something new. I understand that it's tough for many of these smaller designers or studios to compete with these lower prices, since companies like QWERTY Keys or Wucho Studios are massive and can produce at such a large scale. However, this project is different since it falls under the Owl Labs brand, So it really makes me question why they think that this deserves the $499 price tag, and why they decided to make it a limited unit run. Is it because it's harder to manufacture, or did they just want to limit the unit count since they didn't want too many out there, which then inflates the price? I'm not an insider in this industry, so there's a lot of questions I just don't know. But from my perspective, unless you just can't bear to not have this keyboard, I would probably skip. Gray Studios is finally back again after a long hiatus with another product, the Macross 65. Like many of their previous keyboards, it definitely looks space and mecha inspired, and also features the classic Gray Studios colorways such as the popular Mecha 01. I've always been a fan of their designs ever since the original Space 65, and I think they did another great job with this board. Parts of the keyboard do feel a little overcomplicated, such as the side profile, but I'm more okay with this compared to some other designs I've seen on other keyboards because I think it matches the mecha theme they're going with. Other than the design feature, the rest of the board is quite simplistic and clean, with a small LED indicator on the top right corner, a small badge with an LED light on the top/back, and a simple weight design, so it doesn't feel too loud and obnoxious. Pricing for the Macross 65 is $319 for anodized and $339 for electrophoresis or powder coating. It's decent and falls around mid-range for cost, which isn't too crazy if you take a look at some of their previous group buys. Like I mentioned in the previous section, if you compare it to budget boards from brands like QWERTY Keys, you might not see the value in this keyboard. But if you're someone who happens to be a fan of Macross, or like that mecha design style, then I think the Macross 65 might be the keyboard for you. I don't have too much to say on this keyboard since the interest check is also quite bare, but it was posted on the Discord, so I just wanted to highlight that it's back. The Dolch TKL is a retro looking keyboard with a huge forehead, which isn't super popular nowadays, though there are some folks who really enjoy the older styling. The last time this was available I think was around 7 years ago, so it's great to see a project coming back so that people who want it can finally get their hands on one.